Good morning, students. Today is May 14th, 2020. We're working on 4.2, page 9 through 10, problems 9 through 14. So this is still the same, what we've been working on. This is substitution. We need to substitute either in for x or for y. So if I look at these two problems, I cannot substitute in for x or y because my variables are not alone. Yes, the y here is alone, but it has a negative sign in front of it. So I want to solve for the ones that have a 1 in front of the variable. Since this has a negative 1, I'm not going to solve for that one. I'm going to solve for this letter right here because it has a 1 in front of the y. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. So I get y equals 4x plus 6. Now I can take the 4x plus 6 and substitute it in for y. Okay, so again, you're trying to get the variable by itself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a negative sign, and then I'm going to put 4x plus 6 equals 5x plus 21. I'm going to now distribute the negative into the parentheses. So technically there's a 1 here. So I'm going to distribute the negative 1 into the parentheses. So negative 4x minus 6 equals 5x plus 21. Now I need to get the variable on one side of the equation. I have it on both sides. So I can either move the 4x or the 5x. Now I always like to move the x to the left if possible. So I moved it to the left, I cancel these out, I get negative 9x minus 6 equals 21. Okay, now solving for the variable, I need to add 6 to both sides. So negative 9x equals 27. Last step is to divide. So I divide by the number in front of the variable, which is negative 9, to both sides. So x equals negative 3. I'm going to take that negative 3 and plug it back into the other side to find my other variable, which is y. So y equals 4 times negative 3 plus 6. So I get y equals negative 12 plus 6. Y equals negative 6. So again, now I found the x and the y. So down here I put negative 3 comma negative 6. Okay? So let's do one more problem. Okay. So again, I'm looking for the variable that has a 1 in front of it. This does not, this does not, this one does, this one does not. So I'm going to solve for x. Solving for x means that I need to move the 2y to the other side. So add 2y to both sides. So I get x equals, and again, we cannot add these together. Why? Because they are not like terms. So x equals 2y plus 11. So I'm going to take this, and this time I'm going to substitute it in for x on the other side instead of y. So way over here for x. So negative 7, and then I plug it in. 2y plus 11 minus 2y equals negative 13. So now I'm using the distributive property again. So multiply the negative 7 times the 2y, which is negative 14y. I multiply the negative 7 times the 11, which is negative 77. I drop down the 2y, the negative 2y equals negative 13. My first step I always do is move the number away from the two variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 77 to both sides. So now I get my variables together, I can combine them. So I combine like terms and I get negative 16y equals, I add these together and I get positive 64. Next step is to divide both sides by the number in front of the variable, which is negative 16. Y equals negative 4. I then take the negative 4, plug it back in for y. So x equals 2 times negative 4 plus 11. X equals negative 8 plus 11. X equals 3. So down here in my solution, I get 3 comma negative 4. Thank you. Have a good day.